we've got much more. Millions of people around the country who are expected to take to the streets today in another round of the No Kings protests against President Trump. This grassroots movement comes as congressional Democrats are taking their own stand, continuing to vote against reopening the government until the expiring health care subsidies are addressed. Joining us now, New York Democratic Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, who also serves as the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. You got your marching outfit on for No Kings protests. I want to show folks, and we've been doing this a lot, but it's very important to hear what your Republican colleagues in Congress are saying about this march today.
They have a Hate America rally that's scheduled for October 18th on the National Mall.
They're having this Hate America rally in Washington, a Hate America rally in D.C. next week.
This will be a Soros paid-for protest where his professional protesters show up, the agitators show up. We'll have to get the National Guard out.
Well, you have to say they're definitely on message.
Right.
At the end of the day, our colleagues display fear. They fear the fact that the American people recognize and understand that this is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, and that we are not buying their authoritarian dictates as they continue to be basically megaphones for Donald Trump. They're all lockstep with Donald Trump. They disabled the House of Representatives because they're waiting for orders from Donald Trump. The American people see this, recognize it, feel it. The air is full of it, and we are not going back to post-revolutionary war. No kings.
No. We're looking. No.
I'll keep going.
Transition to the conversation, so you.
Let's move from these Republican colleagues and talk about something else, because this also gets into the realm of hate.
Absolutely.
Politico broke the story about the unbelievable yet believable text conversation between young Republicans, 2,900 messages where everybody was talked about in derogatory fashion. African Americans, women, Jewish Americans.
They called us monkeys and watermelon people.
And watermelon people. Meanwhile, who was it? Oh, the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, who said, oh, these are just kids and they're being a little edgy. No, these were not kids. They were in their 20s and their 30s and in positions of responsibility in a young Republican's outfit. Just, I know you are hopped up about this and have things to say. So the floor is yours, gentlewoman.
Especially because the New York State young Republicans were a major part of this. So it has real implications right here in the state of New York that there's a generation of so-called leadership or being groomed to be leadership that espouses these views.
And we should point out that the New York Young Republicans group was disbanded yesterday. Go
Absolutely.
On.
They had to be disbanded. And I'm glad that move was taken, but at the end of the day, that does not stop this type of ethos from spreading. And I think that the Republicans owe much more to their followers, if you will, than excusing behavior, than being caught. Basically, because at the end of the day, where did these young people, these not so young people, get these values from?
I mean, it shouldn't be lost on anyone that they're simply, I don't know, if the President of the United States weren't, among the people who peddle in this sort of thing, maybe they wouldn't view it as having permission to be as hateful as they were.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous. It's abhorrent. We should not countenance this at all in American society, and to know that, again, you have these young people who were lauded by leadership, mind you, and palled around with, that this is what's going on when they think no one's looking.
And we should just to be very clear, because Mother Jones did an analysis and determined that the average age of 8 of the 11 participants in the chat ranged from 24 to 35.
Grown-ass men.
So,
And women.
And women.
But I also think that the No Kings protest this week has allowed for Republicans to deflect some of the attention to the other issue that's going on right now for you and your colleagues in Washington, which is the government shutdown. You had John Thune go on MSNBC with Ali Vitale and basically put out the first of what seems like some sort of proffer that he will offer Democrats a vote on the House floor on Obamacare subsidies to extend them for an undetermined period of time. I don't think he said exactly for how long the extension would be if Democrats open up the government. Is that an offer that is being now discussed seriously amongst House Democrats?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Not even
I mean, at the end of the day, we're not going to bargain away the American people's health care. These folks are untrustworthy. It's very clear that they have an agenda to dismantle access to health care in America. They started with Medicaid, with implications for Medicare. The only thing that stands between the dismantling of the Affordable Care Act and creating health care for the people are the Democrats right now.
What about people, though, who say that this is a situation where the majority cannot, in any circumstance, offer the minority any sort of win because it sets a bad precedent? I mean, does this mean we're going to be in this for an undetermined amount of time?
Listen, the body, Congress, was meant to be bipartisan. That was part of how we got where we are today. You can't have one party dictate to the other the demise of the people. And that's where we stand. At the end of the day, we're either going to come to a negotiated agreement where both parties recognize the value of health care to the American people, or unfortunately, we're going to be in this standoff. And I'm hoping that cooler heads will prevail, that there'll be a recollection of how we negotiate and how we get to the table to do what's best for the American people. Red states are impacted far more by the lack of these subsidies or tax credits being available to American families than blue states do.
Do you want President Trump to jump in and say to Thune and Johnson, get this done, settle this
That
thing?
would be great if we had a president that understood the significance of what this means to the American people. If we had a president who understood that while he has a Cadillac plan in the White House for health care when he's ill, the vast majority of Americans are relying on these tax credits to be able to access primary care, basic care, emergency care, hospital arrangements and nursing homes. The implications for what they are doing right now are far and wide reaching into the American civil society.
Before we go, I just want to play the sound from the Vice President of the United States about these chats, because I think it's important you guys hear it in his own words.
The reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes like that's what kids do. And I really don't want us to grow up in a country where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives. We're not canceling kids because they do something stupid in a group chat.
Well, I have always lived in a country where being a tall, big black boy made me not a young man from birth.
Or a kid.
And not given the exact same kind of benefit that these grown-ass men and women are getting.
What a lame excuse.
Yeah.
It was truly a lame excuse. And to hear that coming from the Vice President of the United States gives us a view into the mentality that we're
I got one word for it. Deplorable.
It's unfathomable to think that we're in a situation where the vice president is essentially saying that kids who are saying, I love Hitler, it's edgy, it's fine, they're young.
Just okay.
unbelievable.
Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, we have so many more questions for you, but you have to come back. Thank you so much.